Uncharted? More like Uncharted. I thought of that in the shower.
Did you say Shart?
Yes, Uncharted.
Oh.
Because this movie is not nearly as bad as people have been complaining about.
So you didn't actually shit your pants.
I did not know. But thank you for checking in.
No,
on
he
me.
did, and then he undid it.
We have a
Okay.
okay.
How do you do that?
We have a case of one of those movies where the critics are like, bruh, but audience is just giving this like a 9. This is a red notice.
Is it?
Yeah, look at it. I'm pretty sure it's a 90% audience rating.
If you like the movie, maybe don't compare it to Red Notice, though.
But I didn't hate Red Notice.
You watched Red Notice?
Yes.
Danan watches every movie,
I
even
hate
if we
this guy.
don't see it.
I hate
Like,
this guy so much.
Yeah, you got to keep up.
All right, let's
no,
check it out.
you don't. There's absolutely
Now
no
Google
incentive
thinks
to
I've watched
watching
this movie,
every
but
movie.
I didn't.
No.
Oh wow,
Stop.
they really
I
gave it a 40.
Yeah.
They gave
I thought it was
40,
better than
audience
a
has
40.
90, and I can't see anything else because it says that I'm using an ad blocker or something like that.
Well, you probably
So-
are. Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Based off the hit video game series, we follow Nathan Drake, played by Tamales Hollis. And he's
Tamales
here.
Hollis.
And he's here
Wow.
being an explorer extraordinaire, an explorernaire, if you will. And he's trying to solve the mystery of where his dang brother went when he escaped from the police at a children's boys' home with the nuns and all that.
Mhm.
But along the way, he meets Sully Sullivan. That's not
Not
his
the pilot.
name. Sully
Not-
Sullenberg, also played by Tom Hanks. No, Mark Wahlberg is here playing Sully.
That's like the same person.
No, he's just Mark
no,
Wahlberg.
he's playing Mark
Like
Wahlberg.
literally Mark Wahlberg, he's in the movie. Like
Yeah.
as a character.
Yes.
And you're like, wow.
Half the
really
time they
put Mark
reference him
Wahlberg in
as
this
Mark
movie.
Wahlberg too. It's a little confusing.
Mark,
but,
we gotta
you
get outta
you
here.
Get used to it after a while.
It's like, Tom, we're not supposed to use our names right now.
Sorry, Mark. Jeez.
Anywho, they're looking for Magellan's lost gold because they didn't sail around the world, but they did. But they didn't.
Something.
They never made
They
it,
explained
but
it
they
really
did.
weirdly.
Anywho,
I'm gonna need a full elaboration on that.
video game movie. Does it follow the trend? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
I mean, it's not like. Well, okay. What trend are we talking about?
bad video game movies.
Because video game movies, I think, have been bad, but recently
they've
in
been
recent trends, I think most of them have been pretty good. Like, what bad video game movies have come out recently?
Assassin's Creed, but that came out a while ago.
How long ago was that? A
I
couple
think it
years?
was 2015 or whatever.
Does Free Guy count as a video game movie?
I hope
But
not.
even so,
But
I don't
even
even
then,
think
that's
that
not
was
terrible.
that bad. Like, it wasn't based
yeah.
on a video game, so I don't think I'm going to consider.
It's not
it a
as
video
much
game.
wiggle room
Yeah,
because they
But-
could have done whatever.
I think it's following the new trend, kind of.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
It
not
was-
it's not
it
as
wasn't
good as Sonic the
terrible.
Hedgehog. Sonic
Yeah.
the Hedgehog is peak
I
video game
think-
movie.
Okay, you played Uncharted, right?
Yes.
We did not.
Mhm.
Does it relate to the game?
This takes bits and like they take some action scenes from one game. They take the
Mm-hmm.
plot element of another one, kind of. They do a new villain and new characters, but they still like
Right.
keep the main like Nathan Drake is Nathan Drake, Sam is Sam.
Mhm.
But like, I mean, this is not a good representation of Sully, really. But that's
Really?
Mark Wahlberg for you. I mean, like
It's
he's
just-
more like sleazy and quick witted with it. In this one,
Mhm.
he's like, I don't know how to get into the sewer. This puzzle doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm in a freaking Papa John's.
that was kind of funny. Though.
That was great, but I feel like they would not have put that in there if it was not Mark Wahlberg saying that. I'm in a
Maybe not.
freaking Papa
I
John's
feel like
right now.
Mark Wahlberg just doesn't have that great like range of emotion, so his face is like always the same.
Do you
Whatever
think
he's
that
saying,
maybe he
anything.
has like Botox or something, so maybe
Maybe.
he can't really move his face.
I just think
That's
it's Mark
possible.
Wahlberg, but
I don't know. He doesn't look good enough to have had Botox.
Yeah,
done,
that's what I'm
though.
saying.
Look at him, Jackson. He's got quite a few rankles up there.
Quite a few rankles.
Quite a few rankles.
got quite
No,
a few
we're
wrinkles.
just-
But
It was fine.
Like
I
the-
think the best way to describe this movie is dumb fun.
yes,
The
It's
best
like-
way to describe this movie: Spider-Man and Mark Wahlberg take on the world with some dumb fun. Yeah,
there's your movie.
because
for you.
Yeah.
again, just like Mark Wahlberg is playing Mark Wahlberg, Tom Holland is playing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's kind of playing a bit of a Peter Parker.
Yeah,
in
remember
this
when
role.
he swung from that rope?
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
remember
Spider-Man.
when there's literally no way a normal human could do half of the things that the people do in this movie? I guess that's
but
kind
that's
of an
video
action
games
movie.
Also,
Yeah, that's true. It is like a video game movie.
I thought you were gonna say, remember when there's no way home?
Yeah, I thought-
I was like, oh yeah, no, I get
oh yeah,
that.
for sure.
Like the movie.
No, but
Plural.
nice.
Thanks.
The Uncharted games are like 6 hours plus, like story wise. So
Right.
you get a long time to like develop these characters.
Mhm.
Even when you're playing the game, it's like playing a movie almost, where you're like going through it. And for the most
Yes.
part, besides the first one, they all really hold up like visually wise. And honestly, at some parts of this movie, it kind of looks like the first video game, if I'm being completely honest.
in terms of like CG.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only time I was like, wow, that is jarring was the plane scene, which is the big staple in all the trailers and all that. There's one part where they're like falling,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh,
Wait,
ooh,
they're
ooh.
falling?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Never would have known.
No, but they they
Um,
rubber past the screen. I'm like, oh.
I want to talk
ooh.
about that plane scene too.
Well, we'll talk about that in the slightly spoilerish section, but unless you had something that was not
Fine,
spoilery.
no, we'll just go on.
Okay.
I didn't know we were doing a big spoiler section for
Well, no, it's just,
Uncharted,
it's just
though.
gonna be
I
be
mean,
slightly like
okay,
get into
buddy.
it in case you want nothing spoiled. Quick characters. Nathan Drake. For the most part, yeah, he's not. I don't think Tom Holland would have been the best pick for Nathan Drake.
who do you think would have been
probably.
better?
Probably.
Me?
You know what, man? For this one, yeah.
Yes. Let me look up what he looks like in the video game.
Okay.
Dude, I don't think that looks like me. I think if anything, it looks more like Jackson.
Jackson.
Okay, so Jackson plays Nathan Drake.
You play Sully?
No, he's Sam, because isn't Sam blonde?
Yeah.
Let me check out Sully Uncharted. Yeah, that's me for sure.
No, I think that's Danan.
Danan. It looks
I
just
can see,
like
I
him.
can see.
If
that.
you get a mustache, yeah.
But you see what I mean? Like even in just
Yeah.
that one image, you're like, oh, that's the character. If Mark Wahlberg did that, you'd be like, oh, what is he doing?
You know, the side by side though, I see the resemblance.
Hmm?
I mean, he has
I
the
see-
hairline for it.
I think just give him like
that's
20
over.
years.
Yeah, no. It's the thing is like they cast too young for Nathan
Yeah.
Drake. So when they cast, oh, we'll just match it with Sully. You can still make Sully like starting to gray. You don't need to make him like Mark Wahlberg.
Well, this is kind of
This
like
is
the
so
origins
stupid.
of Nathan Drake, no? So, and
Yeah.
I assume like,
Because there's a
Uh,
lot of Uncharted games.
well, they're
right?
gonna do more for sure. So,
4?
Mm-hmm. There might be 5, including.
so they're
spin-offs
probably
or
just
more.
planning for the future, and they're like, okay, well, the next movie's gonna be out in 5 years when Tom Holland's 5 years older, you know?
We can make Mark Wahlberg gray by then.
Yeah.
But
square him up.
Nathan Drake, goofy, funny, silly, quirky. He's a quirked up white boy. No, but I do think that I did enjoy this because we haven't seen this in a while, so it is refreshing. A protagonist that isn't just a nonstop killing machine. So like
Yeah.
they get hit. They get hit more than they dish, but they keep getting back up. So you're like, this is a likable
And
hero.
you're like, wow, Spider-Man.
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 Wait, you're way stronger than that Spider-Man. Why
Yeah.
are you getting hit by that?
I did like the first thing. You're like, oh, he's gonna kick him off the banister, and then he runs up to a guy and just falls onto the ground when he tries to kick him. You're like, okay, so this is just a human being.
Yeah.
He's not Spider-Man in this movie.
Yeah,
Cool.
They really had to emphasize that.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, if I saw Tom Holland on the street, I'd just start wailing on him because I'd be like, he wouldn't feel it.
He's Spider-Man.
He's Spider-Man. He's invincible.
Sully,
Crazy.
No, Invincible's an
As we-
Amazon series.
as we've
bad.
touched on, Sully is fine. This version of Sully isn't quite as like
Mark Sullyberger.
endearing. Yeah, as endearing or like likable as the.
That's
Sully
not
in the
true.
game.
If you're the guy behind us in the theaters, you really enjoyed his character.
when me and Jackson watched this movie, this guy would laugh at everything,
Really?
and we're like, dude, shut
Was
up.
it a packed theater for Uncharted?
No.
No,
There was like 5 other
There were-
people,
when
and he was
we-
sitting behind us.
Yeah, when we got our seats, like there was no
Good.
one around us, and then like these people just decide to go exactly behind us and just laugh at everything that happened. They laughed. Okay, I don't think this is much of a spoiler. When the people are swinging from one ship to another because it's like pirates are coming onto a
Mhm.
ship, they started laughing at that. Like what?
Why?
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
They're like, wait, is that
You
a
kidding me?
pirates reference?
Oh, from Pirates of the Caribbean, I love that. But anyways,
That's what they sounded like.
That's
Yeah.
what they sounded like.
next character we got is Chloe. A great like I've worked with Sully before. I'm a little confused because in the game she's like very closer to Nathan Drake's age. In this one, I was kind of confused how old Chloe was supposed to be as compared
How old
to
was Nathan Drake supposed to be?
25.
Did they say it in the movie?
Yes, because it was like 15 years ago.
Gotcha.
And he was like,
I
I
don't
was
do
10
math,
when they were there.
So,
So 25.
Yeah.
I mean, she could be, but they never like establish anything. So I'm just kind of like, is she like supposed to be older, younger?
Let's
same
see
age?
how old the actress is.
Okay, well that's not really a good.
She is 27,
Okay, so even if she's 27, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
maybe.
But,
no,
uh,
she's 26.
She looked young to me.
But
whatever.
Chloe in the games is a lot more like, oh, this is how you solve the puzzle kind of thing. Like she's much more into it. In this one, they very much go. Nathan Drake is the only one who can solve these puzzles.
yeah, they really.
I mean, like it's fine.
I'm not like upset about it.
no, I'm not
you
upset
know?
about it, but it's like
So-
with
some
these
of the things that
pre-existing
make
characters,
sense
you're kind of
because like he has that like disposition and also the tools that
Yeah.
his brother left him. So
yeah.
Mhm.
But anywho, she's good at double crossing and getting double crossed.
oh yeah, deserved.
Don't know what side she's on. You know what I mean?
Spoilers.
Like you're like, oh, what's going on the whole movie? It's just Twist City, baby.
Twists and turns.
Speaking about twists, let's
Probably
talk
like
about
my
some
Uncharted.
villains. Antonio Banderas.
No, that's not the
guy from
name
Spy
of the guy.
Kids.
It's,
Puss in Boots.
He's from Spy
Santiago
Kids.
Moncada.
Santiago Moncada. He's fine. He's very much a mustache twirling villain.
Yeah.
He's there. He's very much there for exposition dumps, monologues, and then he's not there anymore. Without getting too much into it, Joe Braddock is the other antagonist. She's like, I worked with and against Sully before. Might have some ties to Sam, Nathan's brother. Some other things about that. And you're like, wow, you're just deplorable. You're like just not a good person. You know what, Braddock? You're just not a great person. You know what? I'm gonna say it.
She has a really cool neck-shaped knife.
Yeah, perfect for necks.
Perfect
It's
for just
so
slicing
easy.
necks open.
Just get right up.
If
in
you
there.
think she's gonna cut a throat or two, she does like 5 times to accentuate the fact that that knife is to cut a throat or two.
Yeah.
But without further ado, what works in this movie?
The action.
Action.
I
Oh,
was gonna say the action's pretty good. Although I do have a complaint. Are we in spoiler territory now?
not quite yet.
Fine. There, like I said earlier, there's some scenes that are a bit unrealistic, but I guess it's just video game movies, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess.
it's in the
I don't
trailer.
know.
A helicopter can't carry a ship.
yeah.
No. Yeah.
When that-
Yeah,
when
like-
that happened, I
very
went,
true. Okay, fine. I'm just gonna say what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
It's not a spoiler.
Yeah. Then I was like,
With the freaking airplane scene, how they resolve it at the end, with like how they end up being fine, you know, that wouldn't work.
you'd be dead.
That wouldn't work. How was the parachute just perfectly attached to the fucking shipping container, such that when he pulled the thing, it like just
Oh
popped
yeah,
up
no,
and
no,
then
no, no.
held on, and then they
Yeah.
were both fine. And then but then they hit the water and went.
They did not care for
No.
physics in the scene there.
For
No.
people,
For a lot of
for people who
scenes,
haven't
actually.
seen the movie yet, when all the crates are falling off the plane, they're stuck on one. Chloe and Nathan, they're falling. They're like, pull a chute, but they're also like 20 feet above the water. So when they do it, they're like, hold on. But what would
Why
realistically
is the
happen
parachute attached
is
to the
just,
crate though?
well, no, they're all launched. But that's the thing I
Well,
don't
it's
get.
because they're supposed to just be dropped. Like those
Right.
things are supposed to go out and like they're
Yeah.
supposed to be like
Right.
airdrops.
But the thing I don't get is like, it wasn't like when the box falls, it's not just red mist in the air because they hit the water so hard. They're just like, we made it. But anywho, that's most
I feel like
national treasure,
the-
any action adventure.
can we talk about it just for another second?
Mhm.
Because they hit the water,
Mm.
but they're laying on top of the thing.
So their back should be broken.
So they should just like instantly just like shatter every bone in their body.
It should be a Mortal
should
Kombat
drown, pretty much.
fatality.
Like,
Just
I don't think that it's like they explode like blood everywhere, but I do think that there's some severe damage there that did not happen to
No,
Tom
no,
Holland.
I would agree.
And I'm pretty pissed off about it. I'm proper
I'm
pissed
proper
off.
pissed off.
Yeah.
But those are some of the things that didn't work. Back to the
Yeah.
thing that didn't work. For Sully not being Sully, I did enjoy the banter of the two of them throughout the movie. That's like a very
It
consistent
wasn't too
thing.
unnatural
No.
either. Like the writing was pretty good.
Well, they said that most of like the banter between the two of them is just like they just started doing it. Like the
Mhm.
Tinder joke that they make in there wasn't in the script. They just
Oh,
kind of
really?
like, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, like I think that's fine for any scene that isn't
Yeah.
essential. Just kind of let them riff off of each other.
Especially when that's like the vibe you're going for too.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, if this wasn't Uncharted, perfectly fine movie. But it's like whenever you inherit
That's the
series or
problem.
anything like that, you have these expectations for these characters.
If it was just like a treasure hunt heist movie with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, I would
If
have
that's
been
the
like,
title
"Whoa,
of it, I
that's
would have been like
sweet."
treasure heist movie. Let's go.
But because there's like so much good content, presumably,
Mhm.
to base it off of, yeah, I think it's
They could have
just-
taken more elements from
it's
it.
disappointing to see what they didn't do, you know,
Yeah.
because we know what they could have done.
What do we give this movie, huh?
Yeah.
Wait,
Out
hold
of-
up. I want to talk. There's a couple more things that don't work in my opinion.
Okay, man.
Well, we had time to talk about that. But go
Plot
on.
convenience is my first thing.
Mhm.
Like how they're just in the ocean, and then she turns around. And she's like, "You're gonna want to take a look at this," and they're like stranded in the ocean, and then just behind them is just an island. Like I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Then
Well, you know.
then another thing that I didn't like was cliches because everything in this movie was very predictable because
yeah,
of
it
cliches.
wasn't a very.
You're-
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
know what you mean.
It's
So-
a very safe movie.
Yeah,
You're not going to
I
experience
wasn't-
anything.
You said there's a lot of twists and turns in there, and like, yeah, but
No,
like,
I mean
they're
literally they're just like,
predictable
I'm a
twists.
bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
you're like,
really?
oh,
I
really?
never would have guessed.
Wow.
Well, how about you know that this is the real treasure map? Ah.
Anything else didn't work for you, Jackson, or are you?
No,
Satiated.
those are my two big ones.
Satiated. Nice. Cross
Thank
off
you.
the list. What do we give this
Over
out of
there.
10 Rusty Falchions?
Um,
Which is something that is a joke in the games. They made a reference to it in the thing. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
look at this sword.
7
7?
on the dot.
Nice. I'll give it a 7. It's a solid 7. This is a Snake Eyes for me. This is a 7. Are you giving it a fucking 7?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We'll just go 7s across the
7
board.
across the
We
board,
just
across the
won
board.
the slot
Guys,
machine.
I was gonna say, if we were playing a slot machine, we just won the jackpot.
Woo!
We just won the gold.
The gold.
Nice.
You don't say. The gold?
The gold.
Before
gold.
we end this review, we have some slight spoilers. So if you want nothing, get out of here. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching it. And if you're listening on a podcast, don't forget to listen to some of our other podcasts. You can listen to us on anywhere where there's podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Roomies Talkin Movies. And
What?
no, that was all. I just ran out of breath.
You want me to say something?
Post-credit scenes. We haven't had one since 2 months ago.
I didn't know there were
back.
post-credit
There
scenes.
were post-credit scenes.
I didn't.
So sit your patootie
I
down.
watched it at home. It wasn't on Vudu, by the way. I had to watch someone. I watched the movie.
Yeah,
is
way
all
to
that you
save
need
yourself.
to know. I watched the movie.
First one. Sam's alive. What?
What? We thought he was dead the entire movie.
He's writing his
I mean,
postcards again.
what else would you put in the post-credit scene?
But he says, be careful who you trust. Because Sully, still a piece of shit. And then that's where we leave off on that one.
Okay.
Second one. Time jump. He's talking to this one person about getting
Who's
a Nazi map. Nathan Drake.
Okay.
The main character is talking to...
You just said
no, that's
he,
not...
dude.
Don't fucking... Okay.
Danny, you really do need to be more specific.
Nathan Drake is speaking to this one
That's fine.
eye-patch-shioed man. And he's like, I want the Nazi map. And in return, you can get this ring. And he's like, awesome. My boss, Roman, which is a reference to one of the...
rings.
Yes. Roman is a reference to one of the main bad guys in the Uncharted games. So it seems like they'll lean
There's
more
going to be
into
an
it.
Uncharted too.
Yeah. And then what happens is they trade it up, and then he's like, you're going to die. But then Sully shows up, this time rocking his iconic mustache. Does not look good on Mark Wahlberg. They make a joke about it. Why not just make it look better? Huh?
He could probably rock a mustache.
And then
you don't have to make it look
he's
bad.
got the cat from the beginning this time. And he's like, I'm take Mr. Whiskers with me
Nice.
everywhere.
I like cats.
This is a
so
good
I'm
one.
on board with that
And then
one.
they have their next adventure where they're like, we're going to take this Nazi map. But then they turn and they go, Nate. And then Nate looks right at the camera and goes, ah, crap. And then it ends, meaning that they probably got caught. But it's perfect because that's where the sequel is going to be, baby. And I was
Yeah.
telling Jackson
Huh.
this. I'd watch a sequel.
Yeah,
me-
no, I'd go.
it's
I'd go
dumb
back.
fun.
Yeah.
It's just like a Snake
like
Eyes
Jackson
2.
said, dumb fun.
Dumb fun.
That's what it all is.
The one thing I was saying is I do not always like when movies go like, let's not go all in on the first one and then make the sequel the rewarding one, like what they did with Venom. I think just having Carnage be the bad guy in the first one would have been fine. You could have just picked an iconic Uncharted villain for the first one, and
like
people would have been like,
Dune.
yeah. Well, no, Dune makes sense. That's exactly like the book. But, maybe just lean more into it next time. But for that, that's all we got for you this week. Make sure to come back next week as we will be reviewing Peacemaker. Is it the best DC show ever made? Might be the only good DC show.
Yeah.
Is it better than some of the Disney Plus shows?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
100%.
Most.
Is this the
probably.
future of DC?
I don't know.
Tune in next
it would
week.
be a
We'll
little
find. We'll
weird
discuss.
if the future of DC was on
Was just
third-rate
Peacemaker?
heroes.
Yeah, but,
Tune
you know.
in next week, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Adios.
Bye.
Stop snapping.
I'm just saying bye.